Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. This is a preview video between Chelsea versus Fulham, match day number 3 of English Premier League. I've watched Fulham play against Brighton and Manchester United. Here are my observations about Fulham gameplay on tactical board and what Chelsea can expect from Fulham. So let's go. Fulham played their last two EPL matches in 4-2-3-1 formation against Brighton and Manchester United. When the opponent is building from back, the striker, the center attacking midfielder, the two wingers, and one center midfielder, they do the forward press in the opponent half. What I've observed that the intensity of press, at least for the first 70 minutes of the match, is not that aggressive. But in the last 20 minutes of the match, the entire team intensity of press is extremely aggressive. And one of the reasons I feel is the fresh legs they add by substitutions, which allows them to press hard. Moving over to Fulham defending. Now, Fulham defended in 4-4-2 formation against Brighton, where the center attacking midfielder became more of a left striker and the main striker became the right striker. The wingers kind of shift their position a little backwards to align with the center midfielders. Let me add some opponents here. What Fulham does is they don't allow the opponent to pass the ball in this central area. They force their opposition to play wide in the flanks. And when they push the opposition at the flanks, they create something like this orientation of player positioning at the center. See at the striker, center attacking midfielder, right winger, left center midfielder and right center midfielder. What it does is it does not allow the opposition to make the short passes to its own players in this center area. If any opposition player makes a bad pass in the center, then the Fulham players are ready with their quick runs to pounce on the transition. But there was one issue against Brighton while defending. When Fulham pushed the Brighton players on one side of the flanks, there was an opportunity of switch play available on opposite side of the flank for Brighton. If somehow Brighton managed to push the ball from this flank to this center position, then from this center position they were going for the switch play. Now this switch play did happen in few instances in the match. I think Fulham manager noticed it, and that's why against Manchester United he adopted a 5-3-2 defense formation to solve this switch play issue, with one center midfielder falling deep back to defend. However, the idea is always to push the opponent players to the flanks, wait for the mistake to occur in the central area and then kill in transition. Now as the ball ends up in Fulham final third, all players take effort to track back and fill in the zones. Also, their defenders and center midfielders are physically dominating. Moving on to Fulham attack. Against Brighton, when Fulham were building from their goalkeeper, or let's say from back, their center attacking midfielder King, who is a good ball carrier, he would drop deep to receive a pass either from the goalkeeper or to the defender, and then progress the ball by dribbling or by taking passes to Iwobi. Iwobi played mostly on the wings against Brighton, but against Manchester United, Iwobi played more inward rather than on wings. Something like this. Here we see change in position and formation of team against Manchester United while build up. Iwobi will play more like a left attacking midfielder with the left back high up the pitch, with back three and one center midfielder at the anchor, with center attacking midfielder moving to right attacking role and right winger slightly inward behind the center attacking midfielder. Now here in this match against Manchester, it was Iwobi who was dropping deep to receive the ball and then move forward. Fulham is more of a transition team, waiting for counter attack, and one thing is for sure, the team likes to run a lot. If I have to speak about Fulham players, the defenders, they don't make that much of errors. The center midfielders, they know which player to occupy which position at what time within the game. They're quite well aware about it. And the passing range of the center midfielders are also good and decent. Then their strikers, Jimenez and Muniz. They're quality strikers and they can score goals. What I've seen that the Fulham likes to build from IOB at the left. He is their main guy. And the center attacking midfielder, Josh King, is a good ball carrier, drops deep to carry ball forward. But he lacks goal scoring ability, or I may say that he needs to add some goals to his kitting. Fulham also have good substitutes to affect the game in Fulham favor. So against Chelsea, I expect Fulham to use the same setup what they used against Manchester United. But in case if they use the setup what they used against Brighton, then the switch play for Chelsea is possible. This is where Cucurella can come into picture because he inverts. By inverting, he can move into the left attacking midfielder role. And by switch playing, if the ball passes on to Cucurella, then Cucurella can have a goal contribution either by scoring or by assisting. That is what I feel if they use Fulham uses the Brighton setup. Now I think Chelsea should win the match by two goals margin at least because we have quality players who can deliver that win to us. The two things I'll say that we need to be precautioned about. First is that Fulham likes to place a lot and hard in the last 20 minutes of the match. So Chelsea should and try to win the ball high up their place and use a dynamic transition to score the goal. And then Fulham will try to push us to the wide or at the flanks so that we don't pass the ball centrally. But somehow, if we could get the ball into the center zone, then I think there is a possibility for Chelsea to score. So let's see what happens. But also, we should not make any bad passes in the center because this is the kind of bait what Fulham uses. So that if we make a bad pass in the center, they can adopt to a quick transition to score the goals. So that's it for the video. Hope you like the video. Till then, click like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.